News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Philippines has signed a supply agreement with Pfizer for the procurement of 40 million doses of its COVID-19 vaccines. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. announced that the government and Pfizer management finally concluded negotiations on the matter. This is the biggest supply agreement that the country signed so far this year. The delivery of 40 million Pfizer jabs will begin after 8 weeks or starting August and will be sent to the Philippines in bulk. Galvez said this will be financed through a multilateral agreement with the Asian Development Bank to ensure transparency. Now, with the latest supply agreement, the Philippines has now secured the delivery of 113 million doses from five vaccine manufacturers. The Philippine Genome Center, or PGC, will resume its work on genome sequencing of 750 positive COVID-19 samples per week. PGC Executive Director Cynthia Saloma says this follows the arrival of the testing kits the center had ordered. Now, adding that this will help in monitoring the prevalence of the Delta variant of COVID-19, the variant currently most globally dominant. She also noted that the PGC wants to sequence as many samples as possible, but considering value for money, 750 samples is reasonable. Philippines has now administered over 8 million vaccines since the start of its inoculation program. As of June 18, 8,050,000 jabs have been administered nationwide, of which 5.9 million were given as first dose and around 2 million have been fully vaccinated. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. lauded LGU and private sector's efforts in ramping up inoculation of their residents and employees. Galvez also notes an increase in vaccination throughout across all priority groups, which indicates that the vaccine hesitancy is being addressed. For 2 consecutive weeks, the country administered over 1 million jabs per week. The vaccine czar vows to sustain this as a stable vaccine supply is expected in the coming weeks. The total number of confirmed COVID-19 cases in the United States surpassed 33.52 million as of yesterday, while the death toll is now over 601,000. Reuters reports that about 65% of the U.S. adults had at least received 1 shot of vaccine, and 55% of the American adults are fully vaccinated. Data also shows little progress being made in vaccination in the past 10 days. The U.S. government is now investing more than $3 billion to accelerate the development and manufacturing of antiviral medicines. The plan also aims to build sustainable platforms for developing antivirals for other viruses with pandemic potential. At least 1 person was killed and another injured after a truck ran over participants at the Pride Parade in Florida. An eyewitness video posted online showed people lying on the ground as first responders and others tried to administer first aid. According to local media, the truck clad in rainbow flag was part of the parade route with other floats. The driver has been apprehended and police are actively investigating the incident. Now, for years, lingerie and clothing line Victoria's Secret has relied on its angels to promote their brand, but they are now turning away from this and replacing the iconic angels. Victoria's Secret is now tapping women who are famous not for their body, but for their achievements in an effort to, quote, redefine the version of sexy. These women are soccer star Megan Rapinoe, freestyle skier Eileen Gu, journalist Amanda de Cabinet, LGBTQ+ activist Valentina Sampaio, Indian actress Priyanka Chopra, and more. This is a complete departure from the usual Victoria's Secret angels who are supermodels, which include notable celebrities and models. The brand has been criticized in the past for its lack of diversity and a narrow representation of the female body in its annual fashion show, which has been canceled in 2019. The COVID-19 COVID-19 pandemic has led to the rise of digital fashion. Several well-known brands have already begun introducing themselves in the online world with non-fungible tokens or NFTs. But is digital fashion the future of clothing? Let's watch this video.
So fashion is getting into non-fungible tokens, which are the NFTs that have taken off over the past couple of months. They're digital certificates of authenticity, which kind of proves ownership and provenance. So there's a lot of digital fashion already, like stuff you can buy in games to dress up your character, but bigger brands are getting into it, like Gucci. They had a set of bags that came out on Roblox, and one of them sold for over $4,000, and that's actually more expensive than the physical copy of the bag. So the next kind of step in all the digital fashion items will be NFTs, and one of the more popular companies is Artifact, which do sneaker drops, and they sold about 600 units of digital sneakers and they made about $3.1 million back in February. There's also other fashion NFTs from the fabricant, and they make kind of dresses and Renaissance inspired pieces like armory. So people have always kind of bought digital items to enhance the online experience. Like a lot of people have bought Zoom backgrounds during the pandemic, and I guess it's just really popular with people who live a lot of their lives online. This type of digital fashion or NFT fashion is really popular because you can push the bounds of what you're able to do. You can get jackets with levitating collars and shoes that are constantly burning, and you can push the realms of creativity, I guess. Like you're just constricted to what you can create. BNP Paribas expects in-game spending to reach about $129 billion this year, and that's only going to get more and more popular as more and more people spend more time online. People see this as the next frontier where we'll all, spend a lot of our social lives in the metaverse, and we'll want to dress up our avatars with the coolest clothes, and this is the beginning of it.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 2:15 in the afternoon as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.